The Little Monkey's Jungle Adventure. Momo the little monkey woke up early one sunny morning, feeling very excited. Today was the day for a big jungle adventure. He grabbed a bunch of juicy bananas for a snack and swung happily from tree to tree. The jungle was alive with chirping birds, buzzing bees, and colorful butterflies fluttering everywhere. Momo loved how the sunlight made the leaves sparkle, and he couldn't wait to see what fun he would find today. As Momo explored deeper, he met Ellie the elephant, who was splashing water with her trunk by the river. Ellie smiled and invited Momo to play a splashy game. Momo laughed and splashed back, water droplets sparkling like tiny diamonds in the sun. Then, they heard a cheerful squawk and saw Paula the parrot flying down to join them. Together, they played hide-and-seek among the tall trees and soft ferns, giggling all the while. After the fun, Momo's tummy rumbled, so he shared some bananas with his new friends. As they ate, a gentle turtle named Tilly slowly walked by, waving hello with her tiny flipper. Momo was happy to make another friend. Together, they followed a trail of glowing flowers that shimmered in the shade. The flowers led them to a magical waterfall that sparkled like stars, pouring bright, twinkling water into a crystal-clear pool. Momo stepped closer to the waterfall and made a special wish. Suddenly, the sparkling water twirled around him like a friendly dance. When the water settled, Momo felt a happy glow inside. He realized that the best magic was the joy of exploring new places and making friends along the way. With a big smile, Momo waved goodbye to Ellie, Paula, and Tilly, promising to come back soon for another adventure. The Little Lion's Roar. Once upon a time in a sunny, green jungle, there lived a little lion named Leo. Leo had the fluffiest mane and the biggest heart. But there was one thing Leo wished for more than anything else: to have a real roar. Every day, he would practice, but all that came out was a tiny squeak. "Squeak, squeak," he would say, as the other animals giggled and played. One sunny morning, Leo decided to ask his friends for help. First, he went to Ellie the elephant. "Ellie, can you help me roar?" he asked. Ellie smiled and said, "Of course, Leo, just take a deep breath and let it out." Leo took a big breath and tried again, but all that came out was another squeak. Ellie chuckled. "That was great, keep trying." Next, Leo visited Zuri the zebra. "Zuri, will you help me roar?" he asked. Zuri nodded happily. "Sure, just pretend you are the biggest lion in the jungle." Leo took a deep breath again, but instead of a roar, there was only a tiny squeak. Zuri laughed. "You're getting closer. Just believe in yourself." Finally, Leo went to see Tilly the toucan. "Tilly, can you help me roar?" he asked. Tilly flapped her colorful wings and chirped, "Of course, let's do it together. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, roar." Leo took a huge breath, and with all his might, he let out his biggest roar yet. R-O-O-A-R-R-R. It was loud and strong, just like he had always dreamed. All the animals in the jungle stopped and turned to Leo. Ellie, Zuri, and Tilly cheered, and the jungle echoed with joy. "You did it, Leo!" they shouted. Leo felt proud and happy. From that day on, he roared whenever he wanted, and it was the happiest sound in the jungle. Leo learned that with friends by your side, You can find your voice and let it roar. The Adventures of Timmy and Tommy. Once upon a time, in a magical place called Rainbow Forest, lived Timmy the tiny turtle and Tommy the cheerful rabbit. Timmy loved to explore, while Tommy loved to hop and play. One sunny morning, they decided to go on an adventure together. "Let's find the biggest rainbow in the forest," said Tommy, wiggling his nose with excitement. Timmy smiled and nodded, ready for a fun day ahead. As they wandered through the forest, they met a friendly squirrel named Sammy. Sammy was munching on an acorn and said, "Hello, Timmy and Tommy, where are you off to?" "We're looking for the biggest rainbow," replied Tommy. "I can help you," squeaked Sammy, his eyes sparkling with excitement. The three friends set off together, laughing and sharing stories. They climbed over hills and hopped across streams, but soon they reached a wobbly bridge that looked a little scary. "I can't cross it alone," said Timmy, trembling a bit. Tommy and Sammy encouraged him, saying, "We'll help you, just take it slow." Holding onto each other, they stepped onto the bridge together, giggling and cheering each other on. Timmy took a deep breath and inched forward, feeling brave with his friends by his side. With teamwork and laughter, they crossed the bridge safely. When they reached the other side, they gasped in awe. There it was, the biggest, brightest rainbow they had ever seen, stretching across the sky. "We did it!" cheered Tommy. Timmy smiled wide, feeling grateful for his friends. They danced under the rainbow, their hearts full of joy and adventure. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with orange and pink, Timmy, Tommy, and Sammy knew it was time to go home. "What a wonderful day," said Timmy. "I couldn't have done it without you too." Tommy and Sammy agreed, smiling at their friendship. They promised to have more adventures together, for every day was a new chance to explore and have fun in the magical Rainbow Forest. The 4th of July of Freedom. It was the 4th of July, and little Lily was buzzing with excitement. She held tightly to Sparky's leash as they walked to the park where the big celebration was about to begin. The sky was a soft pink as the sun started to set, and colorful balloons danced gently in the breeze. Everywhere Lily looked, there were smiling families, twinkling lights, and red, white, and blue decorations fluttering in the warm air. Sparky wagged his tail fast, sensing the fun ahead. As Lily and Sparky found a cozy spot on a picnic blanket, music began to fill the air. A friendly band played happy tunes that made everyone want to clap and dance. Lily's eyes sparkled as she watched the flags wave and heard the cheerful songs about freedom and friendship. Sparky barked happily, joining in the fun. Lily's mom gave her a little flag to wave, and she felt proud to hold it high, just like a tiny hero celebrating something very special. Suddenly, the sky grew darker, and everyone looked up with wide eyes. Sparkling fireworks began to pop and dance in the night sky, painting it with bright reds, blues, and whites. Lily whispered, "Wow, Sparky, look at those beautiful lights." Sparky wagged his tail so fast it seemed to sparkle too. The fireworks twirled like magic stars, telling a story of bravery, hope, and the joy of being free. Lily felt a warm hug inside her heart, knowing this night was full of happiness for everyone. After the fireworks faded, Lily's mom explained softly, "The 4th of July is a special day when we remember how people work together to be free and happy. It's a day to celebrate friendship, kindness, and all the things that make us smile." Lily hugged Sparky close and thought about how lucky she was to share this wonderful day with her family and friends. Sparky gave a happy bark, as if saying, "Me too." Together, they promised to always celebrate freedom with love and joy. The Curious Kitten's Tale. Once upon a time in a cheerful little neighborhood, there lived a curious kitten named Whiskers. With her soft white fur and bright green eyes, she loved to explore every nook and cranny around her home. One sunny morning, as the birds chirped a happy tune, Whiskers peeked out of her cozy garden. "What adventure awaits me today?" she wondered, her tiny tail twitching with excitement. With a quick leap, Whiskers darted down the garden path. She spotted her friend Benny the bunny hopping by. "Where are you going, Benny?" she asked. "I'm off to find the biggest carrot in the garden. Want to join me?" Whiskers' eyes sparkled with excitement. "Oh yes, let's go together." And off they hopped, side by side, giggling and chasing butterflies. As they searched high and low, they met Leela the wise owl, who was perched on a branch. "Hello, Whiskers and Benny. What brings you to my tree?" she hooted. "We're looking for the biggest carrot," exclaimed Benny. Leela smiled. "I saw a giant carrot over by the big oak tree. But be careful, there might be some surprises along the way." Excited by the news, Whiskers and Benny hurried towards the oak tree, but suddenly they heard a rustling sound. Out popped Sammy the squirrel, his bushy tail twitching. "What are you two up to?" he asked. "We're on a mission for the biggest carrot," Whiskers replied. Sammy grinned. "I love carrots. Can I join you?" With a cheer, the three friends continued their journey together. At last, they reached the big oak tree, and there it was, a giant carrot glowing in the sunlight. The friends cheered and danced around it. They learned that the greatest treasure wasn't just the carrot, but the fun they had together and the friendship they shared. Whiskers purred happily, knowing that her curiosity had led her to the best adventure of all. The Happy Hummingbird's Wings. Once upon a time, in a garden bursting with colors, lived a cheerful little hummingbird named Bella. Bella had the most beautiful wings that sparkled like diamonds in the sunlight. Every morning, she would flap her wings and zoom around the garden, spreading happiness wherever she went. "Look at me," she would chirp, twirling through the air. The flowers danced with joy, and the trees swayed as Bella brought smiles to everyone she met. One sunny day, Bella spotted her friend Benny the bunny looking sad under a big, shady tree. "What's wrong, Benny?" she asked, flapping her wings gently. Benny sighed. "I can't hop as high as I want, and it makes me feel blue." Bella thought for a moment and said, "Let's have a hopping party. I can help you up high." Benny's ears perked up with excitement. He loved parties, especially with his best friend. Bella flew up high, calling all her garden friends to join the fun. She zipped through the flowers, inviting everyone to hop and dance. With each flap of her wings, a sprinkle of magic dust fell down, making everyone feel light and happy. Soon, Benny was hopping higher than ever, giggling and laughing. The garden was filled with joy as they danced together under the sparkling sun. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with orange and pink, Bella and her friends gathered around to share their favorite moments from the hopping party. "Thank you for making me feel happy, Bella," Benny said with a big smile. Bella flapped her wings proudly, realizing that her happiness spread like the colors of the rainbow. And from that day on, Bella knew that her wings were not just beautiful, they were magic wings that brought friends together. The Sports Squad of Friendship. One sunny morning, in a bright green meadow, 5 friends gathered to play. There was Benny the bunny, Tina the turtle, Freddie the fox, Sally the squirrel, and Poppy the puppy. They decided to make a team called the Sports Squad of Friendship. With a big red ball, a jump rope, and a frisbee, they were ready to have fun and help each other learn new games. First, Benny bounced the ball high and invited everyone to kick it gently. Tina tried her best, even though she was slow, and her friends cheered, "You can do it!" Next, Freddie showed how to jump rope, and Sally giggled as she tried to keep up. Poppy ran fast to catch the frisbee, and when she caught it, they all clapped happily. Suddenly, the frisbee flew too far and landed near a tall tree. Everyone wondered how to get it back. Benny had an idea. "Let's work together," he said. Tina climbed slowly but carefully. Sally helped by holding the branch, Freddie threw a stick to nudge the frisbee, and Poppy waited patiently below. With a little teamwork, the frisbee came back down safely. After their big adventure, the Sports Squad of Friendship sat in a circle, tired but happy. They shared smiles and said, "Playing together is the best." They learned that helping each other and trying new things made every game special. And from that day on, they always played as a team, with kindness and laughter filling the meadow. The friendly meadowlark's melody. In a sunny meadow full of bright flowers and soft green grass lived a little meadowlark named Melody. She had the sweetest voice that sounded like sunshine and happiness. Every morning, Melody would perch on a tall twig and sing a cheerful song that made all the animals smile. The bunnies would wiggle their noses, the butterflies would flutter their wings, and even the sleepy squirrels would stop to listen. Melody loved sharing her melody because it made the meadow feel like a happy place for everyone. One day, a gentle breeze picked up Melody's song and carried it all across the meadow. The animals who were far away heard the happy tune and started to follow the sound. Little by little, the meadow filled with friends who wanted to sing and dance together. They hopped, twirled, and laughed as Melody's melody made their hearts feel warm and light. Even the shyest animals found courage to join the fun because the music made everyone feel like one big family. As the day went on, Melody's song grew even more magical. Her melody filled the meadow with happiness so bright that even the flowers seemed to dance in the breeze. Everyone sang together, their voices blending like a sparkling rainbow in the sky. When the sun started to set, the friends sat together, feeling happy and cozy, thankful for the lovely day. Melody chirped softly one last time, promising to sing again tomorrow and bring the meadow alive with her friendly melody. The rainbow of colors. Once upon a time, in a cozy little village, there lived a girl named Lily. She loved colors. Red, blue, green, and yellow, each one made her heart sing. One sunny day, while picking flowers in the meadow, Lily spotted something shimmering in the sky. It was a beautiful rainbow. "Hello, little girl," the rainbow called down. "Would you like to join me on a colorful adventure?" Lily jumped with joy. "Oh, yes, please," she exclaimed. The rainbow smiled wider and swooped down to meet her. "Let's explore the land of colors." With a whoosh, they flew together over fields of flowers that danced in the wind. Each flower was a different shade, creating a magical rainbow carpet below them. They landed beside a sparkling blue lake where the water reflected every color of the rainbow. "Look," said the rainbow, "every color is special. Red is bold, yellow is sunny, and blue is calm." As Lily watched, she saw fish leap out of the water, splashing colors everywhere. "Wow," she gasped. "It's like a color party." Then the rainbow took Lily to a tall green hill. "See those clouds?" it asked. "They can change colors too." With a flick of its rainbow sparkles, the clouds turned pink and purple. Lily laughed and twirled around. "I love colors," she shouted. The rainbow nodded. "Together, we create a beautiful world." As the sun began to set, painting the sky with warm oranges and soft purples, Lily knew it was time to go home. "Thank you for the adventure," she said, hugging the rainbow. "I'll always remember the magic of colors." The rainbow smiled and whispered, "Whenever you see me in the sky, remember that every color is a part of you." The Happy Lamb's Baa. In a sunny meadow filled with colorful flowers and tall green grass, lived a happy little lamb named Leela. Every morning, Leela would wake up and let out a cheerful baa. That sounded like a song. Her baa was so bright and joyful that all the animals nearby would stop to listen and smile. Leela loved to baa because it made her feel happy inside and helped her friends feel happy too. One day, as Leela walked through the meadow, she noticed a little rabbit looking sad under a big oak tree. Curious and kind, Leela walked over and gave a gentle baa. To her delight, the rabbit's ears perked up and a small smile appeared. "Your baa makes me feel better," said the rabbit. Leela felt her heart grow warm. She realized her baa was not just a sound. It was a magical way to cheer up her friends. Excited by her new discovery, Leela decided to share her happy baa with everyone. She walked to a sparkling pond where colorful frogs croaked and dragonflies danced. She baaed with all her might, and soon the frogs croaked in harmony, and the dragonflies twirled in delight. All the animals joined in a happy meadow concert filled with laughter, music, and friendship. Leela's baa had brought them all together in a joyful celebration. The Happy Red Crossbill's Song. High up in the tall pine trees of the sunny forest lived Coco, the happy red crossbill. Every morning, Coco would stretch his wings, fluff his bright red feathers, and sing the sweetest, happiest song. His song was special because his beak was just the right shape to open pine cones and also to make beautiful music. As Coco sang, the sunlight danced through the leaves and the forest seemed to smile along with him. One day, while Coco was singing, a curious squirrel stopped nibbling an acorn and listened. Soon, a fluffy rabbit twitched its nose and hopped closer, enchanted by the happy song. Even a shy little deer peeked out from behind a tree to hear the music. Coco's song was so joyful that it made everyone in the forest want to smile and feel happy too. Excited by his new audience, Coco chirped even louder and added happy little whistles. The squirrel clapped its tiny paws, the rabbit hopped in time, and the deer swayed gently to the rhythm. Soon, butterflies began to flutter all around, joining the happy forest concert. Coco's song had turned into a magical melody that brought all his friends together in a wonderful forest celebration. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with soft pinks and oranges, Coco finished his song with a happy trill. All the animals cheered and thanked him for sharing such a beautiful tune. From that day on, whenever the forest needed a smile, Coco the happy red Crossbill would sing his joyful song, reminding everyone that happiness is best when shared with friends. The gentle giraffe's long neck. In the heart of the sunny savanna lived Gina, a gentle giraffe with the longest neck anyone had ever seen. Gina loved her neck because it helped her reach the juiciest leaves at the very top of the tallest trees. Every day, she would stretch her neck high into the bright blue sky, munching the greenest leaves while her friends watched in wonder. But Gina's neck was special for more than just eating. It helped her see far and wide and share adventures with everyone around her. One sunny morning, Gina's friend Momo the monkey called out, "Gina, can you help us find the rainbow flower that only blooms on the tallest hill?" Gina smiled and nodded. With her long neck, she could see far beyond the trees, spotting the colorful petals sparkling in the sunlight. She led her friends across the warm savanna, her neck guiding the way like a gentle lighthouse, lighting up the path with kindness and care. When they reached the hill, Gina bent her long neck down so little Timmy the turtle could climb up and see the beautiful flower up close. Everyone cheered as they admired the rainbow petals glowing in the sun. Gina's long neck wasn't just for eating leaves. It was a bridge that brought her friends together, helping them share special moments and big smiles. And from that day on, Gina's neck was known as the neck that connected hearts. The brave little seal's flipper. In the chilly blue waters of the Arctic, Sammy the little seal swam happily with his friends. But Sammy had one flipper that was a little different. It was bigger and rounder, and sometimes he worried it wouldn't let him swim as fast as the others. Every day, Sammy watched the other seals splash and dive, wondering if he could be just as brave and quick. One sunny morning, a little fish got stuck under a floating ice chunk. The fish was scared and couldn't swim free. Sammy saw this and felt a flutter in his heart. He knew his special flipper could help. With a big splash and a wiggle, Sammy pushed the ice chunk carefully, making a little path for the fish to swim away happily. His friends cheered, amazed at how brave he was. From that day on, Sammy loved his special flipper more than ever. It helped him explore, play, and help his friends in ways no one else could. Sammy learned that being different was a wonderful kind of brave. And every time he swam with a happy splash, the whole ocean seemed to sparkle just for him. The Jingle of Jenny and Jake. In a jingle-jangle forest where the sun peeked through the leaves, lived two playful kittens named Jenny and Jake. Jenny had a soft, fluffy coat as white as snow, and Jake was a bright orange bundle of energy. They wore shiny bells around their necks that jingled and jangled with every leap and bound. "Let's explore today," squeaked Jenny with excitement. Jake's eyes sparkled. "Yes, let's find the magic of music." Together, they scampered off, their bells ringing cheerfully in the air. As they wandered deeper into the forest, they stumbled upon a gathering of animals. There were rabbits tapping their feet, birds chirping sweet melodies, and even a wise old tortoise playing a tiny drum. The kittens watched in awe. "Can we join?" asked Jake, his bell ringing with hope. The animals smiled and nodded. "Of course, music is for everyone," said the tortoise. Jenny and Jake joined in, their bells adding a magical jingle to the rhythm. With every jingle and every jangle, the forest became alive. Flowers danced, and even the trees swayed to the music. Jenny and Jake giggled as they twirled and spun, their bells ringing like a joyful song. Suddenly, the wise tortoise said, "Let's make a special tune together." All the animals agreed, and they created the most beautiful melody, echoing through the forest. It was a tune of laughter, friendship, and love, and it was all thanks to the magical jingle of Jenny and Jake. Eight Little Frogs' Big Leap. Once upon a time, in a sunny pond, there lived 8 little frogs. They loved to hop, play, and splash in the water. One bright morning, they gathered on a big lily pad, their eyes sparkling with excitement. "Let's make today special," said Freddie, the greenest frog of all. "Let's have a big leap contest." The other frogs cheered, their voices croaking happily in agreement. Each frog took turns practicing their jumps. Benny, the bouncy frog, leaped high into the air and landed with a big splash. Clara, the clever frog, counted 1, 2, 3, jump as she soared gracefully over the pond. Laughter filled the air as they watched their friends leap and splash. "Let's cheer for each other," croaked Lily, the smallest frog, clapping her tiny hands. Finally, it was time for the big leap. All 8 frogs lined up, their hearts racing with excitement. "On the count of 3, shouted Freddie. 1, 2, 3, jump." They leaped together, soaring through the bright blue sky. For a moment, they felt like they could fly. And then, with a splash, they landed back on the lily pad, giggling and croaking with joy. With smiles and laughter, the 8 little frogs celebrated their amazing leap. "We did it together," croaked Benny. From that day on, they knew they could achieve anything if they worked as a team. As the sun set, they hopped home, dreaming of their next big adventure. And so, the 8 little frogs lived happily, always ready for the next leap. The Friends of Sunny Street. Once upon a time, on a sunny little street, lived three best friends, Benny the bunny, Tilly the tortoise, and Sammy the squirrel. Benny loved to hop high in the air. Tilly took her time, slowly exploring every flower. Sammy, with his fluffy tail, dashed around collecting acorns. Together, they made Sunny Street the happiest place in the world. Every morning, they would meet under the big oak tree to plan their adventures. One day, they decided to have a treasure hunt. Benny said, "Let's find the biggest acorn in the park." Tilly nodded with her wise eyes, and Sammy squeaked, "I'll race you there." Off they went, hopping, crawling, and dashing down Sunny Street, searching high and low. They peeked behind bushes, under rocks, and even in the pond. Suddenly, Benny spotted something shiny under a big, leafy tree. "Look!" he shouted. They all rushed over, and there it was, a huge, glittering acorn. They cheered, jumping with joy. "This is the best treasure ever!" Sammy exclaimed. They decided to share it, making it a symbol of their friendship. From that day on, the Friends of Sunny Street knew that the best treasures were not just shiny acorns, but the adventures they shared together. Every day was a new chance to explore, laugh, and make memories. And as the sun set, they promised to always be the best of friends, no matter what adventures lay ahead. The Happy Grasshopper Sparrow's Chirp. In a sunny meadow, there lived a happy little grasshopper sparrow named Chirpy. Chirpy loved to sing the sweetest chirps that made all the flowers dance and the butterflies flutter with joy. Every morning, Chirpy would hop from leaf to leaf, singing his cheerful song to wake up the sleepy world. One bright day, Chirpy woke up and tried to sing, but oh no, his special chirp was missing. Worried but hopeful, Chirpy decided to go on an adventure to find his chirp again. As Chirpy hopped through the meadow, he met a friendly bunny named Binky. Binky had big, soft ears and loved to listen to songs. Chirpy told Binky about his missing chirp, and Binky smiled, saying, "Let's find it together." They bounced along the soft grass, asking the buzzing bees and the twinkling fireflies if they had seen Chirpy's chirp. Everyone shook their heads but cheered Chirpy on, making him feel braver with every step. Suddenly, a colorful butterfly named Bella fluttered by, singing a sweet tune. Chirpy felt a tickle in his throat and tried to chirp along, but still, his special sound was missing. Bella smiled and said, "Sometimes, your chirp is not just in your beak, but in the happiness you share." Chirpy thought about all the smiles and laughter he had given to his friends. Then, with a joyful heart, he chirped a little tune, soft but full of happiness. To Chirpy's surprise, his little chirp grew louder and brighter. The flowers swayed happily, the butterflies danced, and even the shy ladybugs joined in the celebration. Chirpy realized that his chirp had never really left. It was inside him all along, growing stronger whenever he shared joy with his friends. From that day on, Chirpy chirped happily every morning, filling the meadow with music and smiles, knowing the best chirp is the one that comes from the heart. The brave little flamingo's stand. Once upon a time in a bright, sunny lagoon, there lived a little flamingo named Fifi. Fifi was not just any flamingo, she was the bravest of them all. Every day, she danced and played with her friends, a friendly turtle named Tilly, a shiny fish named Finn, and a colorful butterfly named Bella. They loved splashing in the water and sharing yummy snacks. But one day, something unexpected happened. A big, mischievous pelican named Pete flew over the lagoon. He had a huge beak and a sneaky smile. "Look at all that food," he squawked. "I'll take it all." With a swoosh of his wings, he tried to grab the tasty snacks that Fifi and her friends had gathered. Fifi felt her heart race. "Oh no, we can't let him take our food," she exclaimed. Fifi took a deep breath and flapped her wings. "We have to stand together," she declared. With her heart full of courage, she waddled up to Pete. "Excuse me, Mr. Pelican, you can't take our food. It belongs to us," she said bravely. Her friends cheered her on, shouting, "Go, Fifi, you can do it." Pete the pelican was surprised. He had never met a flamingo who stood up to him before. "Oh, all right," he said, backing away. "I didn't mean to upset you. I'll find my own snacks." Fifi smiled and said, "Thank you, Pete. We all deserve to share and enjoy our food together." From that day on, Fifi became a hero in the lagoon. Everyone admired her bravery and kindness. They learned that even the smallest flamingo can make a big difference. And so, Fifi, Tilly, Finn, and Bella danced and played happily ever after, knowing that together, they could stand up for one another. The Little Family of Lily and Leo. In a bright, sunny forest lived a little family, Lily the bunny and Leo the lion cub. They loved to play and explore together every day. One morning, as the sun painted the sky with golden colors, Lily and Leo decided to visit a magical place called Rainbow Meadow. It was said to be full of colors, laughter, and surprises. Holding paws, they hopped and trotted through the tall green trees, feeling the soft breeze and hearing birds sing happy songs. When Lily and Leo reached Rainbow Meadow, their eyes sparkled. The meadow was covered with flowers of every color you could imagine. Butterflies danced around them, and the air smelled sweet like honey. Suddenly, a friendly squirrel popped out from behind a bush, waving its tiny paws. "Welcome to Rainbow Meadow," it said with a smile. Lily and Leo giggled and joined the squirrel, ready for a day of fun and new friends. As they played, a wise owl swooped down from a tall tree. "Hello, little explorers," hooted the owl. "Would you like to find the sparkling stream that sings when the sun shines?" Lily and Leo nodded eagerly. The owl led them gently through the meadow until they heard a soft, tinkling sound. There it was, the sparkling stream, glistening like diamonds. The little family sat by the water, feeling happy and peaceful, sharing stories and laughter under the warm sun. As the day turned to evening, the sky painted itself with a big, beautiful rainbow stretching across the meadow. Lily and Leo hugged their new friends and promised to visit again soon. They walked back home, their hearts full of joy and their minds filled with wonderful memories. Together, the little family knew every day held magic when they were side by side, exploring and caring for one another in their bright, friendly forest. The Flower Power of Paula and Peter. One sunny morning, Paula and Peter found a hidden path behind the big oak tree in their village. Curious, they followed it and discovered a sparkling garden filled with flowers that shimmered in every color of the rainbow. As they stepped closer, the flowers began to glow brighter, and a gentle breeze whispered secrets of magic and fun. Paula giggled, and Peter's eyes sparkled with excitement. They had just found a garden full of flower power. Paula reached out and touched a bright pink flower. Suddenly, she felt a warm, happy feeling spread through her fingers. The flower whispered, "I can make you dance like the wind." Laughing, Paula twirled and spun, her feet light as feathers. Peter found a blue flower that hummed a soft tune and made him feel super brave. Together, they realized each flower had a special power waiting to be shared. Excited to use their new powers, Paula and Peter ran back to the village. Paula's dancing made the grumpy old Mr. Toad smile and tap his feet. Peter's bravery helped little Mia climb the tallest slide at the playground. Soon, everyone wanted to see the magic flowers and feel their flower power. Paula and Peter knew that sharing happiness was the best magic of all. At the end of the day, Paula and Peter returned to the magical garden to say thank you. The flowers glowed even brighter, as if they were happy too. They promised to visit often and keep spreading flower power wherever they went. Hand in hand, Paula and Peter walked home under a sky painted with pink and orange, their hearts full of magic and joy. The Friendly Dragon's Den. Once upon a time, in a colorful forest full of bright flowers and tall trees, there lived a friendly dragon named Dazzle. Dazzle had sparkling green and blue scales that shone like jewels in the sun. He loved to make new friends. Every day, he would fly around the forest, smiling and waving at all the animals. "Hello, little friends," he would call out with a cheerful roar. One sunny morning, Dazzle had a wonderful idea. "I will throw a surprise party for all my forest friends." He flapped his big wings and zoomed to his den, where he had a special surprise waiting. He filled the den with colorful balloons, bright streamers, and a giant cake covered in frosting and sprinkles. "This will be the best party ever," he giggled excitedly. When all the forest animals received their invitations, they were thrilled. The rabbit hopped with joy, the squirrel chattered excitedly, the wise old owl flapped his wings in delight, and even the shy deer smiled. They all rushed to Dazzle's den, eager to celebrate together. Dazzle's heart filled with happiness seeing his friends gather. Finally, the party began. Dazzle led the animals in fun games like Pin the Tail on the Dragon and Musical Leaves. Everyone laughed and played until their hearts were full of happiness. Then it was time for the cake. Dazzle took a big breath and blew out the candles, and the forest echoed with cheers. "Hooray for friendship!" they all shouted. As the sun began to set, Dazzle and his friends sat together, sharing stories and laughter. They realized that the best part of the day was not just the cake or the games, but being together and celebrating their friendship. Dazzle smiled, knowing his heart was filled with love. "Thank you for being my friends," he said with a warm glow. The clever cat's Whiskers. In a bright and bustling village lived Whiskers, the clever cat with the twitchiest whiskers you ever saw. Whiskers loved to explore and think up fun ways to help her friends. Every morning, she would stretch her paws and wiggle her whiskers, ready for a new adventure. One sunny day, Whiskers noticed her friend Benny's kite stuck high up in the tallest tree. Benny looked sad because he couldn't reach it. Whiskers thought for a moment, her whiskers twitching wildly as a bright idea sparked in her mind. With a clever grin, Whiskers gathered her friends to help. "Let's build a kite ladder," she said excitedly. The bluebird brought shiny ribbons, the puppy fetched sticks, and Benny helped tie everything together. Whiskers used her twitchy whiskers to measure and guide the perfect length. Soon, a wobbly but colorful ladder reached up to the kite. Everyone cheered, and Whiskers climbed carefully, her whiskers twitching with excitement. She reached the kite and gently untangled it, returning it to Benny with a proud smile. Benny hugged his kite happily and thanked Whiskers and her friends. "Your clever whiskers and kind heart helped save my kite," he said. Whiskers purred softly, her whiskers twitching in delight. From that day on, everyone in the village knew that with a little cleverness, a twitch of imagination, and a lot of kindness, any problem could be solved. And Whiskers? She couldn't wait for the next adventure, her whiskers twitching all the way. The tiny turtle's slow and steady. Once upon a time in a sunny meadow, there lived a tiny turtle named Tiny. Tiny was not like the other animals. He was slow and steady. While Benny the bunny hopped and raced, and Sammy the squirrel dashed up trees, Tiny took his time, enjoying every little thing around him. "Why are you so slow, Tiny?" the others would giggle. But Tiny just smiled and kept strolling along. One day, while Tiny was exploring, he found a beautiful, sparkling flower. "Wow!" he exclaimed, "look at all the colors." Just then, Leela the ladybug flew by and landed on the flower. "Hello, Tiny, I've never seen you here before," she chirped. "I was too busy racing to notice this lovely flower," said Leela, fluttering her wings. Tiny smiled and said, "Sometimes slow and steady helps us find magic in the meadow." As the days went by, Tiny Turtle continued to explore. He discovered hidden paths, sparkling streams, and even made friends with a wise old owl who told him stories of the stars. "You see, Tiny," said the owl, "being slow allows you to see things that others might miss." Tiny nodded, feeling proud of his slow and steady ways. One sunny afternoon, Tiny decided to join a race with his friends. He wasn't the fastest, but he kept going, slow and steady. As the other animals zoomed ahead, Tiny spotted all the wonders along the way. He saw the butterflies dancing, the flowers swaying, and even helped a lost ladybug find its way home. When Tiny finally crossed the finish line, his friends cheered. "You did it, Tiny!" they exclaimed. Tiny smiled, knowing he had enjoyed every moment of the journey. From that day on, all the animals learned to appreciate the beauty of being slow and steady. They realized that sometimes the best adventures happen when you take your time. And Tiny Turtle, he continued to explore the meadow, making new friends and discovering magic wherever he went. The Journey of Harry and Hannah. One sunny morning, Harry the little hedgehog woke up feeling extra curious. His best friend, Hannah the bright blue bird, chirped happily beside him. "Let's go on an adventure," Hannah said with a flutter of her wings. So off they went, stepping carefully through the soft moss and crunchy leaves of the whispering woods. The trees seemed to sway and hum as if welcoming their brave explorers. Harry and Hannah giggled, excited to see what magical things they might find. As they wandered deeper, they spotted a sparkling stream that twinkled like 1,000 tiny stars. Harry dipped his paw in the cool water while Hannah sang a happy tune. Around the stream, colorful flowers giggled and wiggled their petals when the breeze tickled them. Harry and Hannah laughed and danced with the flowers, feeling the joy of the forest's magic all around them. They knew this was only the start of their wonderful journey. Suddenly, Hannah spotted something amazing, a shining rainbow bridge stretching from one side of the forest to the other. "Look, Harry, let's cross it," she chirped excitedly. Together, they stepped onto the glowing bridge, feeling it shimmer beneath their feet. As they reached the middle, a treasure chest appeared, sparkling with all the colors of the rainbow. Inside, they found friendship bracelets made of twinkling leaves and tiny stars, a special gift to remind them of their magical journey forever. Lily's Lovely Lullaby. Once upon a time, in a little house with a big blue door, lived a girl named Lily. Every night when the stars twinkled in the sky, she would sing a lovely lullaby. Her voice was as sweet as honey, and it made her toys dance and sway. One night, as she sang her favorite toys, Mr. Fluff the bunny, Chug the train, and Bella the doll started to smile and wiggle. Suddenly, a soft breeze floated through the window, and Lily's lullaby turned magical. Mr. Fluff hopped down and said, "Let's have an adventure." Chug chimed in, "Choo-choo, I want to explore." Bella twirled around, "Oh, how fun it will be." Lily giggled and nodded, "Let's go." They stepped into a world of dreams where the clouds were fluffy and the moon smiled down at them. They danced on cotton candy hills and slid down rainbows. Lily sang her lullaby, and the stars twinkled along, lighting up their path. They laughed and played until they were too sleepy to continue. As the night grew deeper, Lily whispered, "It's time to go home." Mr. Fluff hugged her, Chug gave a gentle whistle, and Bella waved goodbye to the magical world. They returned to the cozy bedroom where Lily tucked her toys in. With a yawn, she said, "Good night, my friends. Tomorrow will be another adventure." With one last look at her toys, Lily closed her eyes. The lullaby floated through the air, carrying them all into a world of sweet dreams. And as the stars twinkled brighter, they knew tomorrow would bring even more lovely adventures. The Delicious Day of Diego and Diana. Once upon a time, in a land where candy trees grew and chocolate rivers flowed, lived two siblings named Diego and Diana. They woke up one sunny morning, their tummies rumbling with excitement. "Today is a delicious day," shouted Diego, and Diana danced around the room, clapping her hands. They decided to explore their magical world, where every step was a new adventure filled with yummy treats. As they ventured outside, they discovered candy clouds floating in the sky. "Can we jump on them?" Diana asked with wide eyes. They bounced on the candy clouds, giggling as they leaped from one fluffy treat to another. With each jump, they soared higher and higher, tasting the sweet, sugary fluff. "This is the best day ever," Diego exclaimed, his face covered in sticky sweetness. Next, they stumbled upon a chocolate river. "Look," Diana pointed excitedly. They dipped their fingers into the river and tasted the rich chocolate. It's so good." Together, they made chocolate boats out of leaves and floated them down the river, laughing as they raced them against each other. They shared their chocolate treasures and promised to always share their treats. As the sun began to set, they found a giant cupcake hill. They climbed to the top and spotted a rainbow of candies waiting below. Diego and Diana shared the candies with their friends, who joined them for a sweet picnic under the candy trees. They laughed, played, and enjoyed the delicious treats together, knowing that the best part of the day was sharing it with friends. The heart of kindness. Once upon a time, in a bright and sunny forest, there lived a big, fluffy bear named Benny. Benny loved to play, dance, and sing with his friends. But one day, he noticed that his friends were feeling a bit down. The rabbit was sad because he lost his favorite carrot, and the squirrel was worried because it was too quiet. Benny thought hard. How could he help them feel better? Benny had an idea. He gathered some flowers and made a big, beautiful bouquet. He ran to his rabbit friend and said, "Here, this is for you. I picked these just for you because you make me smile." The rabbit's eyes lit up, and he hopped around with joy, forgetting all about his lost carrot. Next, Benny thought of the squirrel. He noticed the squirrel looking lonely on a branch. So he climbed up and said, "Let's play together. I brought some acorns for us to share." The squirrel's frown turned into a big smile as they started to play, laugh, and share acorns together. As the sun began to set, Benny felt a warm glow in his heart. He realized that kindness was like magic. It made everyone happier. All the animals in the forest gathered around him, and they shared stories, laughter, and more acts of kindness. Benny smiled and said, "When we are kind to each other, we fill our hearts with happiness." From that day on, Benny and his friends made a promise to always be kind to one another. They discovered that kindness was the most wonderful thing in the world. And so, their hearts were always full of joy, and they lived happily ever after, spreading kindness everywhere they went. The imaginary friends of Ivy and Ian. Once upon a time, in a sunny little town, lived two best friends named Ivy and Ian. They loved to play outside, where their imagination took them on grand adventures. One sunny day, while sitting under a big oak tree, Ivy said, "Let's invite our imaginary friends to play." Ian's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Yes, I can't wait to see Cumulus and Twinkle." The oak tree rustled as if it was happy too, and the air was filled with laughter. With a sprinkle of magic, Cumulus, the fluffy cloud, floated down, giggling and puffing little clouds of cotton candy. Twinkle, the sparkly star, danced around them, leaving trails of shimmering light. Flare, the friendly dragon, swooped in with a playful roar, his scales glinting in the sun. "Let's have a picnic," shouted Ivy, and everyone cheered. They spread a big, colorful blanket on the grass, filling it with sandwiches, fruits, and juice. As they enjoyed their picnic, they shared funny stories and played games. Cumulus made funny shapes in the sky, Twinkle twinkled in rhythm to their laughter, and Flare even breathed tiny puffs of smoke that turned into heart shapes. Ivy and Ian knew this was a day they would never forget. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with oranges and pinks, Ivy said, "Today was magical." Ian nodded. "I love our imaginary friends. They make every day special." Cumulus, Twinkle, and Flare promised to come back for more adventures. With big smiles and warm hearts, Ivy and Ian waved goodbye, knowing that with imagination, every day could be an adventure. Lily's lovely lion. One sunny morning, Lily was playing in her backyard when she spotted something soft and fluffy under the big oak tree. It was a lovely lion, bigger than any toy she had ever seen. His golden mane shone in the sunlight, and his gentle eyes looked right at her. Lily reached out her hand, and to her surprise, the lion smiled and blinked. "Hello, Lily," he said in a warm, friendly voice. Lily laughed with delight, excited to meet such a wonderful new friend. The lovely lion told Lily he was here to take her on a magical adventure. With a joyful roar, he gently lifted Lily onto his back, ready to explore. They galloped through colorful forests where the leaves sparkled like jewels and butterflies danced around them. Lily felt the wind in her hair and the sun on her face as they laughed and played. Everywhere they went, new animal friends appeared to join their fun: a singing bird, a hopping bunny, and even a tiny turtle waving hello. At the end of their adventure, the lovely lion brought Lily back to her backyard. He gave her a soft, warm hug and said, "Whenever you want, just close your eyes and I'll be here for another magical day." Lily smiled big and hugged him back tightly. She waved goodbye to her new friend, knowing that her wonderful lion would always be ready for fun and friendship. And from that day on, every time Lily looked at the big oak tree, she felt a little sparkle of magic in her heart. The little ladybug's garden. In a sunny garden filled with flowers and buzzing bees lived a little ladybug named Leela. She was tiny and red with shiny black spots that glistened in the sunlight. Every day, Leela loved to explore the garden, hopping from leaf to leaf, looking for new friends and adventures. One morning, she had a big idea. "I want to make our garden even more beautiful and fun," she said with a happy smile. So she fluttered her tiny wings and set off to find special seeds and friends to help her. As Leela wandered under the tall sunflowers, she met Benny the bumblebee, who was humming a happy tune. "Would you like to help me plant seeds to make the garden bloom with new flowers?" Leela asked. Benny buzzed with joy and nodded. Together, they found tiny seeds sparkling in the soil. Leela carefully planted each seed, while Benny watered them with drops of dew. They worked happily, dreaming of the beautiful flowers that would soon grow tall and bright. While planting, Leela heard a soft flutter and saw Bella the blue butterfly dancing in the breeze. Bella loved colors and wanted to help too. She flapped her delicate wings and sprinkled magical fairy dust on the seeds. Suddenly, the garden sparkled with colors, and little sprouts peeked out from the earth. Leela clapped her tiny legs in delight. "Look, our magic is helping the garden grow," she said. The garden was turning into a bright, happy place where all the bugs could play and share. Soon, more friends joined the fun. Carlos the caterpillar crawled in, curious about the new flowers, and Sammy the snail slid slowly to see the magic too. Together, they planned a garden party with music, dancing, and lots of laughter. Leela felt so happy watching her small garden friends come together. "Our little garden is full of joy because we all helped and cared," she said softly. Under the warm sun, the garden buzzed with friendship and fun, a perfect place for every tiny bug to smile.